Okay, so here I am today, and we're going to talk about priorities, saying yes to some things and no to other things. But it's not going to sound like an interview, it's going to sound like a conversation. So this is kind of awkward, but.
So we just say conversation, conversation, conversation.
Conversation.
We're having a conversation here. Conversation.
Yeah, it's a very common conversation.
About priorities.
Priorities.
Priority conversation, priority conversation.
I should not run the conversation.
Okay.
How do you run a conversation? Or not run it?
Hey Siri, how do you run a conversation? Oh.
By
phone's not here.
monopolizing.
To monopolize the conversation.
That's what happened before. I monopolized. I like.
Alright, so we're talking about priorities. And
Hair.
No matter how bored you get, do not cut your own bangs.
Or what if I want to?
ombre your own hair. Don't do it, Brooke.
Wait, what's ombre?
What she's got going.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I was going.
Like the different colors.
Well, actually,
This is more of a beige, so like, it's different.
Beige.
But like, ombre is like, you make two hair colors merge into each other, but it's more like a fade into. And like, if you do it to yourself, it can look really blotchy and gross.
So don't do that. Alright.
so don't do that. We're talking about yes and no.
Alright, and activities. When we say yes too much, our priorities gets out of whack, off kilter.
Truth.
Reevaluating life now.
Reevaluating life. I think the whole world is doing that right now because we're all at home and our activities are
They've completely shifted.
yeah. And so with all that time, I know this has happened to me.
There's a lot of time to reflect.
Yeah, time to reflect and think about what the heck have we been doing with our time, and is this really how I want to spend my time?
Yeah.
I've been running kids a lot. Not these two, the younger kids.
Yeah.
By the way, this is Annie Bookman, and this is Brooke Brenneman, and I'm Kim Brenneman, and we live on a farm in Iowa, and I teach and write about home management and time management, and because of those two topics, the next logical one is stress management, because stress management happens when other parts of life are under control. So that's what I talk about, and these girls have heard me talk about this stuff their whole lives, so that's why I invited them along today for the video, because they lived through all the mistakes I made and all the lessons I learned. They had to experience. I'm so sorry, girls.
Oh, it was so painful.
Terribly painful.
Not.
Not.
It really wasn't.
Maybe all the painful memories are mine.
Probably.
It just felt normal.
There's a bad lesson. You're normal. May not be normal. All right, so the principle of when we say yes to one thing, we're saying no to other things is something that we should reevaluate pretty regularly. Do you have any ideas on that, girls? On reevaluating life and activities and priorities?
I mean, when I'm reevaluating stuff, it's more like, what should I do next? Because I graduate with an associate's after this spring, so my question is, should I take a year on a break from college until I know this whole pandemic thing is over, or do
And the economic fallout?
Yeah, and the economic fallout, or if I should just go straight into college next fall to get my bachelor's right away, because there's a lot of uncertainty, and so it's just kind of reevaluating my plans on that level.
Yeah.
And then that kind of changes my like my, I don't know, day-to-day life.
Day-to-day life, yeah. What are you going to do with your time that's of value if you do take that year off? That's adding value to your skills and knowledge and financial security?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Annie?
Good.
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 Annie has dairy cows, and she was planning to make cheese this year and sell it at farmers markets. We did this years ago with goats, and we walked away from that business, but it was all still sitting there in place, just waiting for someone to take it on. And Annie decided to do that. However,
this would be my first year, and all my plan was to sell at farmers market, which is all face-to-face interactions, and I don't have any branding or marketing out there right now. No one knows who I am. So this would be a year to really get people to know who I am. So starting a business now, which they might not even allow farmers markets this year, just due to the pandemic, and with the economy, who's going to want to buy a high-end artisan cheese? I don't know.
So we're reevaluating lots of things around here. We have lots of conversations daily about how to plan at the macro level, but then also it affects our daily life and what we do in our home with our time that is of value, and keeping our priorities straight. And it's right now it's real easy to spend the whole day on the internet and reading the funny memes and reading the headlines, and then trying to base life on those things that we're learning. But when we do that, when we spend all day on the internet reading funny memes or binge watching TV shows, then the day-to-day life isn't happening very well, and things start to fall apart in our homes with, just basic stuff like laundry and cleaning and food. So when you say yes to something, you're also saying no to something. They go together. Do you have any ideas about what you're doing day to day in the last couple weeks, about how your time management is going as far as the priorities you have? So, I mean, I know you were on spring break and are still here after spring break. But yeah, time management day to day.
Well, my day-to-day kind of shifted at the beginning of calving anyway. So then my priorities was cows, which ones are going to calve, how to manage that, so where they're cleaning or calving in a clean environment and all that type of management. So that really hasn't changed much.
Yeah.
That's still where my priorities lie right now.
So your priorities are your work.
Mm-hmm.
And then what are your other priorities that had to shift because your work picked up? So what got said no to because you had to say yes to more intense work?
That's a good question.
It just kind of fell off
I
without
know.
even thinking about it.
It did. I don't know, my life really... Logan's always working in the shop, and then I'm always at the farm, so our lives kind of revolve around two different aspects of work, and it just, both businesses shift sometimes, and we just go with it.
So flexibility.
Flexibility, yeah.
Being flexible and being able to just go with the new season.
New season, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we know every spring is going to be calving, so we just kind of get ready for that, and like at home, there's not really a lot of things that change. We eat supper a little later now because they're feeding at night now, but it's not like you're saying no to supper.
You're still gonna eat supper.
Maybe put a little more thought into it. Like I browned a bunch of ground beef that was already ready in the freezer so that I don't have to thaw and brown ground beef or whatever for a meal.
You
I just have to thaw it and
you prepped ahead.
prepped ahead. That's been really handy.
Yeah, that is really handy.
Shaves about an hour off dinner prep. Kind of think about that while you're feeding cows.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have for today. If you have any questions, if we weren't clear about something that had to do with time management, let us know. Send me an email. You can do that through the website, homeplainandsimple.com, and drop an email into the bar there. There's the address bar. And you get access to the free resource library, and also you'll get a newsletter every week with home tips and strategies, tactics to make the days flow better. And also chime in on Facebook and Instagram. Let us know what you're dealing with, and if you have any questions or concerns, anything that we can help you with from stuff that we've learned over the years about how to do life at home, because we're generally always at home unless I'm running kids to activities. So that's all. Thank you.